Hello and welcome to the session. Today's session we will see what is the machine learning process. In specific, we are going to discuss about the CRISP-DM model. So CRIPS-DM, it basically stands for Cross Industry Standard Process for Data Mining. Okay, so it basically stands for cross industry standard process for data mining. So as the word itself says, this is a standard process which was actually used typically for the data mining process, and now the same model or the process is also used for a machine learning too. Now this CRISP-DM model, this is a basic block diagram of the CRISP-DM model, and it involves 6 steps. The first step was this one, right? The first step in the process of a machine learning model is we have to first understand the business, right? We have to first understand, right, what is the objective, what is the requirement of your business organization, what is the problem. So basically you have to understand the problem. After understanding the problem, you have to understand the objective. Then you have to get the requirements, right? And then you have to formulate the problem. So now this is a very generic model which can be used for data mining as well as for machine learning process. So basically you have to formulate the problem maybe for data mining process or for machine learning. So that's the first step. The second step is you have to understand the data. Now this involves the following steps. We know the biggest and the primary requirement in machine learning is data, right? Collecting the data, understanding the data. So how do you actually do that processes? The first step would be the data collection. After collecting the data, you have to study the characteristics of the data that you have collected. Then you have to formulate an hypothesis, right, based upon this data, and find out exactly any kind of patterns which are you have to try to understand the data that you have collected, right? So based upon that data, you have to find out what kind of patterns are there in that data, what kind of information is there in the data. So once you have done that, you will be able to formulate the hypothesis and try to put some kind of a pattern analysis. Can you apply any kind of pattern? Which algorithm would be better? Which you will get an idea of which kind of algorithm in ML will help you to solve this problem. Okay, so that was a second step. Coming to the third step, you need to now prepare the data. As we have discussed in the previous sessions, the data you've collected is just a raw data, right? You need to prepare your data so that it can be used for your algorithm. So how do you do it? First of all, you have to finalize your data set. Okay, this is a data set, I'm going to use it for my problem. Then after that, you have to prepare the data, for, let it be the data mining process or for the machine learning algorithm. You have to see, no matter how good or how big it is, it's very important that you analyze your data, right? How much data I'm going to use for training, how much data I'm going to use for testing. Are there any missing values in the data? Are there any incorrect values in the data? Because missing values or incorrect data can give you inaccurate results, right? Your model will be trained wrongly. So it's very important that you find out how authentic is the data that you are going to use for your machine learning algorithm. So that's very important. So various strategies are there. Suppose you have missing values, it is going to happen when you are dealing with, see, when I did my project, did my research, I used data which was like in lakhs. So it is definitely going to happen that you cannot sit and see everything, but still you have to find out what kind of data is missing. You need to make an hypothesis about your data set, and they will be missing values, that is for sure. Then you can use, so many strategies are there which you can adopt to handle such missing data, which we will discuss in the next sessions. Okay, so when you're dealing with millions of data sets, lakhs of data sets, definitely there will be missing values. There are strategies to handle that. We will discuss that in the next few sessions. So that was about the third step, that is preparation of data. Now coming to the fourth step. The fourth step is what? Modeling. So basically what is modeling? Modeling involves designing a model. Now that's the main step. Once you have your data, everything is ready, you have decided this is going to be a training data, which is going to be a testing data. Now you have to develop your model. See, once you have you are familiar with most of the machine learning algorithms, then it will not be, you will get an idea like of which kind of algorithms will be suitable for the problem that you have chosen, right? Supervised or semi-supervised or unsupervised, or you want to come up with your own model, right? You will get an idea once you are familiar with the machine learning algorithm. So that step is nothing but designing a model. And once you have designed your model, once you have worked on your model, the last step is now you have to evaluate how good is your model. Is your model able to achieve the objectives, right? So how will you do it? So evaluation, these are the typical steps, right? How you evaluate your work, right? So you can evaluate your work using statistical methods. Various statistical methods are there. Using visualization methods, various things are there. We will be seeing in each of the algorithms which we discuss next. And some of the basic metrics that we use are accuracy, precision, recall. Many performance metrics are there that is going to basically measure how good is your machine learning classifier or your algorithm that you have used. Right? For example, I've written a machine learning model to classify the emails as, okay, this email requires domain knowledge, this email requires domain experts. So it's looking at this, I can say that I can use a supervised machine learning algorithm here, because I have to classify the mails as either it requires domain knowledge or it requires domain expert. So it's a two-class machine learning algorithms. So basically, looking at your problem, looking at the data, you can get an idea at least like what kind of basic type of algorithm did you need to use. Okay, so that is about evaluation. So once the evaluation is done, the next step and very important step is you have to deploy it, right? So deploying is basically I need to deploy my algorithm, right, in order to provide a solution. So how you're going to deploy your algorithm to provide a solution for your formulated problem. So that would be the last and most important step. You have evaluated every algorithm, it is good enough. You don't have, suppose there is a problem in the evaluation, definitely that's going to happen, right? You will always evaluate, you will see there is a problem, you have to go back to your algorithm, you have to make the corrections and come back and evaluate again. It's like a feedback mechanism where you go back and come back and you keep working until you get the best result. Once you get the best result, you deploy it, right? Deploy your algorithm to provide solution to the problem. So that was the basic machine learning process. So just to revise the basic machine learning process, we are using the standard CRISP-DM process here, where it has these 6 steps. Okay. So that was about the machine learning process, and in the next session we will discuss about the applications of machine learning. Thank you so much.